October 1982, a Los Angeles hotel room. 27 kilograms of cocaine, an FBI sting, and John DeLorean in handcuffs. Within a week, his company files for bankruptcy. Within 3 years, his gullwing car becomes the most iconic time machine in film, and he will not see a dime. This American tragedy didn't start in that room. It started 50 years earlier, with a boy in Detroit who had nothing. John Zachary DeLorean was born on January 6, 1925, on Detroit's working-class East Side. His father, Zachary, was a Romanian immigrant who worked in the Ford foundry and struggled with severe alcohol abuse. His mother, Catherine, a factory worker of Austro-Hungarian descent, frequently fled with her children to escape her husband's violent outbursts. In this unstable household, John found a sanctuary in mathematics and machinery. He discovered early on that fixing broken systems was his ticket out. A gifted student program got him into Cass Technical High School, followed by an engineering scholarship to the Lawrence Institute of Technology. The military drafted him in 1943, interrupting his studies for 3 years. Upon his discharge, he finished his mechanical engineering degree in 1948. He worked briefly as a draftsman and spent 2 years selling life insurance, learning how to pitch and persuade, before returning to Chrysler's Postgraduate Engineering Institute in 1952. From there, he moved to Packard. At Packard, a prestigious but failing brand, DeLorean improved the company's struggling automatic transmission. He established his lifetime pattern: target a broken system, fix it, and force the world to notice. It was a climb that began in a violent home and would lead to the threshold of the presidency of General Motors, the very job this boy would one day refuse. In 1956, General Motors offered John DeLorean his choice of any of its 5 divisions. He bypassed the powerhouse brands and chose Pontiac, the weakest, most struggling division in the lineup. It was a calculated gamble on a broken system. Pontiac was bleeding money and lacked identity, but DeLorean saw a clean sheet to build on. By 1961, DeLorean was Pontiac's chief engineer. General Motors' corporate rules strictly banned mid-size cars from carrying large engines. DeLorean and his team quietly ignored the ban. They took a mid-size Tempest and covertly stuffed a massive 389 cubic inch, 6.4-liter V8 engine under the hood. They named it the GTO, borrowing the designation from the legendary Ferrari 250 GTO. When it launched in 1964, General Motors projected first-year sales of 5,000 units. Pontiac sold 32,450 GTOs. The American muscle car era was born. In February 1967, DeLorean struck again, answering Ford's runaway Mustang with the Pontiac Firebird. Selling for a base price of $2,040, the Firebird offered speed fantasy disguised as everyday transportation. His performance shattered corporate expectations. In 1965, at age 40, DeLorean became the youngest division general manager in General Motors history. By 1969, the corporation handed him Chevrolet, its largest division, where he quickly strengthened the Camaro. In less than a decade, the East Side Detroit outsider had created 2 new market niches from nothing, proving he could outthink the corporate establishment on their own terms. DeLorean rejected the conservative, gray suit conformity of General Motors. He dyed his hair, underwent plastic surgery, wore tailored Italian suits, and unbuttoned his collar. His social circle shifted from Detroit engineers to Hollywood elites, marked by high-profile relationships with figures like Ursula Andress and investment stakes in professional sports teams. This celebrity persona was a calculated celebrity provocation. By 1972, he had risen to corporate vice president, earning over $600,000 annually. Yet he openly criticized the corporation, calling GM slow, weak at marketing, and blind to the market's future. He pushed hard for smaller, fuel-efficient cars, predicting the looming energy crisis before the oil shocks validated his warnings. The final rupture occurred in April 1973, when DeLorean resigned just 1 step short of the GM presidency. The departure was costly. Once he announced plans to build a rival car company, GM stripped away his promised Florida Cadillac dealership and canceled his lifetime pension. DeLorean retaliated, collaborating with journalist J. Patrick Wright on a scathing tell-all book titled On a clear day, you can see General Motors. He had officially declared war on the system that made him. In 1975, John DeLorean founded the DeLorean Motor Company, betting his personal brand on an audacious new sports car. He hired Italian designer Giorgetto Giugiaro to sculpt a radical, wedge-shaped body wrapped in unpainted stainless steel. The design featured dramatic gull-wing doors, a fiberglass reinforced underbody, and a promised 20-year warranty. Yet, this futuristic shell concealed a deeply underwhelming mechanical reality. The rear-mounted 2.85-liter V6 engine produced just 130 horsepower, crawling from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 10.5 seconds, with a top speed of only 177 kilometers per hour. DeLorean promised all of this for a target sticker price of $12,000. To build this machine, DeLorean needed $200 million. He hunted for capital on every available front, pitching Bank of America loans, recruiting celebrity investors, and signing up dealers to buy stock in exchange for franchise rights. But domestic backing stalled, as Detroit's financial networks quietly closed ranks against the corporate defector. Blocked in the United States, DeLorean turned across the Atlantic. The British government, desperate to curb rising violence and unemployment in Northern Ireland during the Troubles, offered a massive financial lifeline, roughly $100 million in subsidies, loans, and grants. In exchange, DeLorean agreed to build a state-of-the-art factory in Dunmurry outside Belfast, promising to create 2,600 jobs. Ground broke on October 2, 1978. As construction began, the marketing machine ran red-hot. In 1979, DeLorean launched a spectacular promotion with American Express, offering a 24-karat gold-plated version of the car for $85,000. It was an overextended illusion, a dazzling distraction from the compounding math of manufacturing. Every metric, every budget, and every headline of this startup era had been built entirely on credit and optimism. But every number so far was merely a promise. Soon, the bills would come due. The first production, DMC-12, rolled off the Belfast line on January 21, 1981, straight into a mathematical trap. The car, advertised at $12,000, launched with a $25,000 sticker price. For that premium, buyers got a sluggish 130 horsepower engine that took over 10 seconds to reach 100 kilometers per hour, wrapped in easily smudged stainless steel. The initial buying frenzy quickly evaporated. DeLorean needed 10,000 annual sales to break even. He built 6,000 and sold only 3,000. Debt surpassed $80 million. When Bank of America sued to seize 2,000 cars and the British government cut off funding, DeLorean grew desperate. The FBI stepped into the liquidity crisis in October 1982. Agents posing as Colombian drug traffickers met DeLorean at a Los Angeles hotel, offering a cash for cocaine exchange. The arrest with 27 kilograms of cocaine acted as an accelerant to a collapse already set in motion. Within a week, the company filed for bankruptcy, leaving 9,000 cars and an unpaid debt to British taxpayers in its wake. In February 1984, a federal jury acquitted DeLorean, finding that government agents had entrapped him. But the courtroom victory offered no shield against the gathering financial wreckage. He immediately faced a barrage of civil lawsuits, prosecution for tax evasion and fraud, and a relentless Bank of America suit over defaulted loans. The public strain ended his marriage to Christina Ferrara, prompting his retreat to a quiet estate in Summit, New Jersey. DeLorean had successfully defended his freedom, but the one asset he spent his entire life building, his golden reputation, was permanently gone. John DeLorean beat the government, but he lost his legacy to the myth. Today, his steel dream remains immortal, but his true character is still up for debate. Was he a tragic visionary or a brilliant con man? Let us know in the comments. Subscribe for more.